Darth Malgus despised weakness. It was a trait that infuriated every fiber of the Sith Lord's very being. However, Malgus was not completely void of the lighter emotions of the Force, such as love, although he himself hated that he was weak enough to inherit such things from lesser beings. Years before the sacking of Coruscant, Malgus, while on the planet of Geonosis, witnessed a young enslaved Twi'lek woman being mistreated, and decided to free her. The two's lives were intertwined ever since that moment. Malgus, despite his best efforts, eventually fell in love with this Twi'lek woman, whose name was Alina Daru, and she would remain with him during his conquest of many Republic strongholds over the Great Galactic War. When Malgus was ordered to the Jedi Temple with direction to capture it, Alina was still by his side, as the two had shortly before been wed. During the ensuing battle at the temple, the Jedi Master Venzalo would encounter Alina, noting her significance to the Dark Lord Malgus, then deflecting two blaster shots back at Alina, with one that struck her in the chest and the other in the shoulder. Zalo then used the Force to fling the Twi'lek into a nearby pillar, nearly killing her. Witnessing this all, Malgus was infuriated and instantly rushed to engage with Zalo, using all of his hatred, anger, and worry for the apparent death of his wife. Malgus allowed his emotions to fuel his blade until his opponent was struck down, and the Jedi Temple was his. Discovering his wife was still alive, Malgus ordered her to be taken to safety and looked after. As she was taken away, Malgus reveled in his triumph over the Jedi. However, his victory would be short-lived, as Malgus then received word the Sith had begun negotiations to give the Jedi Temple and Coruscant back to the Republic. Infuriated, Malgus ventured to his wife for comfort. After a brief visit, Malgus then departed once more to enjoy the destruction of the planet, and still revel in his victory, however short it may be. While Malgus was gone, after seeing how much the Sith cared for her, Alina believed he still contained some good within him, and that they could one day leave this horrible war and live in peace. When Malgus again came to her side, she confronted him with this idea, as the two argued profusely. Malgus believed he was still the pure embodiment of hatred and the dark side, but with his wife professing otherwise. After their argument, Alina took her position at a recently captured spaceport with orders to protect it. Little did she know, a Jedi Knight and former apprentice of Venzalo, Arin Lanier, was waiting for her and had plans to kill her due to her involvement in her master's death at the hands of Malgus. When Alina arrived, the Jedi Knight quickly disarmed her and captured her, but she found herself unable to kill the Twi'lek, as she realized the abuse she had suffered at the hands of Malgus and the Sith Empire as a whole. The Jedi instead knocked Alina out and captured her. However, Malgus then arrived, sensing his love's pain and danger through the Force, and engaged with the Jedi Knight. Surprisingly, Lanier put up a great fight against Malgus, even tagging him more than once with her lightsaber. Eventually, though, the inevitable happened, and Malgus again defeated his Jedi foe, but just like the Jedi had before, spared her life out of honor and allowed the Jedi to leave as payment for not killing his sweet Alina. Malgus then went to an injured Alina, telling her how much she meant to him and that there was still good in him, revealing she was right all along. However, that good made him foolish and weak. Malgus then stabbed Alina through the heart with his lightsaber. In her death, Malgus was ravaged by grief and pain over the loss of his wife, but remembered why he had to do what he did. Malgus ultimately decided to kill her because she was in fact his biggest weakness. While alive, she could pull at his lighter emotions and be used against him, making him, in fact, weak. But in her death, the pain over her absence made him strong. In life, Alina was his greatest weakness, but in death, she was his greatest strength, using his pain to forward his plans for the Sith Empire and become more powerful than ever. So what is your opinion on this little insight into Darth Malgus and his true love, the dark side of the Force? What do you think of Malgus's decision to kill his very own wife because he believed she made him weak? And as a big question for this video, where do you put Malgus in the most powerful Sith category? Is he in the top 10, 5, or not at all? If you would like to join me in the daily Star Wars discussion and debates, follow me on Twitter at Stupendous Wave. Link will be in the description. If you enjoyed this video and feel it deserves it, it would really help me out if you could leave a like. If you haven't already, consider subscribing to the YouTube channel to keep up to date with everything Star Wars related, from news, explanations, and theories from a galaxy far, far away. If you have any video topics you would like to see addressed in a future video, do not hesitate to leave them in the comments below the video, or again, tweet them at me. As always, your viewership and support means the world. May the Force be with you, and have a great day.